In this video, we will review the normal anatomy and physiology of the kidney. We will begin with the functions of the kidney. One function of the kidney is excretion. This is the removal of metabolic waste products from the blood and eliminating them to the outside. Many of these materials are potentially toxic and need to be eliminated. The kidney also participates in various homeostatic functions. These include the secretion of renin, which helps to regulate blood pressure, the secretion of erythropoietin that regulates the rate of red blood cell formation. The kidney also activates vitamin D, which is necessary for the normal absorption of calcium ions, and it regulates the volume and composition and pH of body fluids. Be sure you are familiar with the location and function of each of the following structures. These include the renal cortex, which is the outer layer of the kidney, the renal pyramids, which are these pink triangular structures, the renal artery, which delivers blood to the kidney, the renal vein, which removes blood from the kidney, the renal medulla, which is the middle layer of the kidney that is made up of these renal pyramids, the ureter, which removes urine from the kidney, the renal pelvis, which is this open indentation area within the kidney, this open cavity. It is typically filled with adipose tissue as well as blood vessels and branches of the ureter. And the calyces, which are branches off of the ureter. Also, be aware of the Bowman's capsule, which is this cup-like structure that surrounds the glomerulus, which is a knotted, twisted mass of blood vessels, the nephron tubules, and lastly, the collecting ducts. The nephron is the basic functional unit of the kidney. It consists of two components, a tubular component and a vascular component. The tubular component consists of the Bowman's capsule. This is the cup-shaped enlargement at the closed end of the tubular component. The Bowman's capsule communicates with the lumen of the rest of the tube. After the Bowman's capsule, we have the proximal convoluted tubule. This is the coiled portion as it leaves the capsule. From here, it becomes the loop of Henle. There is a descending portion and an ascending portion. This then becomes the distal convoluted tubule, which is the coiled portion at the other end of the tube. The other component of the nephron is the vascular component. This consists of two beds with their associated arteries and venules. The glomerulus represents the first capillary bed. This is a cluster of tangled capillaries that sits within the Bowman's capsule. The wall of the capillary is in close contact with specialized epithelial cells in the Bowman's capsule known as podocytes. Podocytes have feet-like extensions that help to support the glomerular vessels. The afferent arteriole is the vessel that delivers blood to the glomerulus. Blood enters the kidney via the renal artery. This artery branches numerous times, eventually becoming the afferent arteriole. When you look at the diameter of the afferent arteriole compared to the efferent arteriole, you will notice that it is significantly larger. This will play an important role in setting up pressure differences, blood pressure differences within the glomerulus that helps with the process of forming urine. The efferent arteriole drains blood from the glomerulus. Blood from here then enters into the second capillary bed. The second capillary bed is known as the peritubular capillaries. These surround the nephron tubule. From here, blood will then enter into the venous system and leave the kidney via the renal veins. The main function of the nephron is to modify the blood so it contains fewer toxic materials. The nephron also adjusts the blood volume and pH to meet the demands of homeostasis. This function is achieved via three mechanisms: filtration, selective reabsorption, and tubular secretion. Filtration involves the separation of blood's formed elements and proteins from its fluid component. This occurs at the glomerulus due to blood pressure that is applied to the filtration membrane. This filtration membrane consists of the glomerular endothelial cells, their basement membrane, and the podocytes of the Bowman's capsule. Water and everything dissolved into it will enter into the lumen of the Bowman's capsule. This is known as the glomerular filtrate. The rate of filtration is also called the glomerular filtration rate, and this amounts to approximately 180 liters of material per day. This is a lot of material to be lost, so the next two functions will help to reclaim some of this material. The second step is selective reabsorption. Here, materials in the filtrate will pass from the lumen of the nephron back into the blood of the peritubular capillaries. The body here is deciding what materials they want to keep. This is a selective process because the body is deciding what is necessary to keep and what should be gotten rid of. This process occurs either by simple diffusion or specific membrane transport system. It depends on the permeability of the tubular wall to the individual materials. The last step is tubular secretion. This is the movement of materials from the peritubular capillaries into the tubular lumen. This allows specific excretion of unwanted materials into the urine. This also occurs via simple diffusion or through membrane transport systems. The final product is urine. Urine is derived from the blood plasma and contains everything that has been filtered or secreted and not reabsorbed. Normal urine is clear in color and sterile. It does have a yellow tinge to it. This comes from the urobilinogens, which are a breakdown product of bilirubin that is coming from hemoglobin. Some of the materials that are found in urine would be toxic if they were allowed to build up in our tissues. Others present in the urine represent levels of materials that are in excess of normal homeostatic needs.